Hi, folks. Welcome to 10 by 6.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Brilliant to see you. Okay, we got the guys, we've got the folks from the Prisma here today. So if I got this right, we've got Monica, Virginia, and Juan.
Yeah.
It's fantastic
Hello.
to see you. Fantastic. And you are a multicultural newspaper, mainly focused on the issues around refugees. That's right, isn't it?
Human rights, especially Latin American, also issues that happen in the UK, struggles. We cover like a lot.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you've got over 130 volunteers worldwide, which is amazing because that can, and also you translate into Spanish. So obviously with Latin America as well, you must have quite a big following in that part of the world.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, well, I know that Monica's sound isn't the greatest because you're somewhere in Europe, aren't you, Monica?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So Monica, you're just going to play more of a voyeur advisory role here, and Juan and Virginia are going to answer the question. So let's kick off with the first question. Then, what is the Prisma?
Okay. So the Prisma was founded in 2009 by our director, professional journalist Monica del Pilar, Uribe Marin. So the Prisma was founded because it's a bilingual newspaper. So far, it's the only newspaper that is bilingual and is ethical, independent, and is focused on multiculturalism. Not only that, also in the life of the Latin American immigrants here in the UK, and in general, also in Spanish speakers. We cover from refugees, immigrants, like demonstrations, issues that are happening here. And what we like to do is like to develop this kind of like link between the British people and the Latin American. We inform British and the Latin American community about everything that is happening, not only in the UK, but also in Latin America. And we cover like elections, struggles that have been happening there. Here we've been covering the LSE. So we did quite a lot of series through the years. And we cover like the LSE, London School of Economics cleaners struggles. We've been actually the first newspaper who covered that, and then it was replicated by The Guardian and other newspapers like took a voice on that. We did a huge series about Islamophobia as well when back in the Brexit times. And right now we are doing a big series of Latin American after COVID times. And yeah, so the Prisma actually is like where we all gather, people from all over the world gather as volunteers. It's run by volunteers. All of us are volunteers, that we have a lot of passion. We believe in what we write. We try to do our best to give voices to all the communities. And yeah, like we've been doing this, well, me for 8 years right now. So I started as an apprentice. I've been doing an apprenticeship, and then yeah, I think that what the Prisma has been doing so far has been amazing. So I decided to stay. My colleague Juan the same. And yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It is doing an absolutely amazing job. And obviously from Dorset Eye's angle, we try to work as closely with you as possible because you're doing such an important job. So Juan, can you just tell us a little bit more about the philosophy, about why you set it up, and and how's it going?
Of course, yeah, the philosophy of the Prisma is to provide voice to those unrepresented communities, ethnic minorities, and for that reason, we are focusing on human rights, immigration, multiculturalism, refugees. We try to provide an alternative voice for these people who are tired of the mainstream media, which are by big owners. So we try to provide our free and independent newspaper in order to help other people to know about different aspects of the world that they are not being reported in other newspapers. So for example, I was reading in Dorset how you mentioned the covering of the Western world towards the war in Ukraine, but at the same time, how the Western do not denounce the situation in Palestine with Israel. And I think we share a similar philosophy with you, because here at the Prisma, we are also covering situations in Latin America, injustice that happen in Ecuador, for example, with the mining industries, or in Colombia. Also, as my colleague Virginia mentioned earlier, the elections in Brazil that are happening right now with Lula and Bolsonaro, the ones in Chile, and also Colombia. We focus in Latin America, but also in different immigrants communities around the world. The situation here in UK, we have been following the case of Julian Assange. Also, we attend to a demonstration. My colleague Virginia did a series about the detention center, which this is something that is covered by the independent media, but normally the big media do not go there. So our idea is to engage with different communities through the newspaper, also through social media, Twitter. We sometimes participate in programs, kind of organizations which also are part of the independent media associations, such as the Social Think Tank. We did a program last year about the situation in Afghanistan after US retired the troops, to speak about the history of the conflict. Also now we are with you, Jason, and Dorset, and it's an immense pleasure for us, because it is an idea, philosophy to create kind of intersectional links within different people, because I think that we need to unite together in order to provide to the people a different voice. And I honestly think that people are craving for that, because the situation in the whole world is so uncertain. We had COVID 2 years ago. Now there is the war, the inflation, prices. Also in the UK, we see how the Conservative Party are doing in government after Boris Johnson left the cabinet. Now there was Liz Truss is there, but there are also different things. So unfortunately, the alternative Labour Party at this moment, it doesn't seem as interesting for people from the left as before, but still we need to kind of push the politicians, create links with the communities, and I think the Prisma in that sense is the perfect platform. Unfortunately, we, as Virginia mentioned, we're run by volunteers, so that means that we need to finance them ourselves, because we do not take an income for that. So we have another jobs, which makes this very challenging, but at the same time, it gives us more freedom to speak about different themes that I believe that are important for the society.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you. Can I just ask very briefly about, do you have issues with, especially in Latin America, do you have issues with being censored? Do you find yourself at any point struggling with, you talk about Bolsonaro, obviously, but, with politicians or entities, should I say, that seek to silence you a little bit?
Well, as you know, like always it's kind of like challenging when you touch different topics, especially when they are like controversial, or when we are talking about, people as Bolsonaro. Yeah, of course, like, I mean, I don't recall like a big, like some push or something, but always there will be like an organization or someone that will write to you and say, why are you saying this, or this is not like this. But luckily we have people like all over the world that actually are living in the places, and they can actually like say what is going on there. So like, even though always we will have people that pushing us to say like, oh no, this is not this way, or including like people from here, that lives in the UK, that maybe they are Brazilians, or like they are from any other country, that they may be like more conservative, and they try to push us to say like, oh no, this is not like this, Bolsonaro is this or this. We always like try to give like a truthful and like facts when we are talking about something. We are very, like, we pay a lot of attention to detail in these kind of things. Like we don't get biased by, what's going on around, or we try to be very truthful of what we are writing, and always like covering ourselves, like always checking the facts. Like we only want to say like what is real, and not like getting lost, as like the big media normally does, like
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And I can totally understand that philosophy, because if you stick to the facts and people are trying to censor the facts, then the arguments are loaded for us, aren't they? It's when the opinion pieces come out, and people try to censor them, I suppose we get less sympathy in that respect.
Yeah.
That's
I
wonderful.
mean, I think it's good to be controversial because we then create debate as well. So people start to talk about it.
Yes.
So I think it's really important that we create that debate as well, and that we, like put that fire there, so people start to talk about things and about issues that normally are not covered on the big media. So that is what also like the Prisma try to do, like create that space and give that voice to spark that fire and start to talk about that.
I think we're living in an era where facts are controversial. We don't need to say more.
Totally.
Thank you. And to finish off, then, can we have sort of where you're looking to in terms of the future? How are things projecting in that sense?
So as we were saying, like the Prisma has been run by volunteers these 13 years, including the director, Monica. We don't get any money, and the little that we get sometimes from advertising is to cover expenses, which actually doesn't cover the expenses, like taxes, website. If we have any technical issue, it takes us forever to fix it, because we need to try to find someone, and always it's very expensive, everything. So actually we had a big issue with the Spanish version, which really, it was really hard on us because we lost a lot of readers in Spanish. So luckily it's all fixed, but so our future plans at the moment is we are working on a campaign. Actually, the three of us committed to do this because we think that it's time. We really need to get money from what we do, because really, like, we have like such an amazing articles, but also like the issues that we cover, the people that we interview is such a huge thing, and we create like so many debates around it that it's totally worth it to go all the way and try to get this finance. So like right now, Monica, Juanjo, and I are working on a campaign. It's supposed to happen like months ago, but because of all these technical issues, we had to like postpone it. So right now, because we don't want also like to stop the newspaper, we want that it's running every week as we've been doing like in the last 13 years. So Juanjo and I are going to cover that, and Monica is going to be working on all the planning process of getting donations, and especially what we want is what we were talking before about solidarity. So for 13 years, we've been covering supporting organizations, immigrants organizations. We've been covering like events, embassies, consulates. Like we've been covering everything always for free. And what we need right now is some kind of compromise, support from people, not only individual people that has the means to do that or that has something to donate to us, but also like from organizations that will be working with them for years. So what we are trying to do is to find like some kind of funding through donations, but some also with that donation, some compromise, maybe like a monthly compromise, some advertising as well. Organizations that wants to advertise with us, and that we can have like some kind of like agreement on it. So we want to reach out to all these organizations here in the UK that we've been working with for a long time, and all these people that we've been working and promoting them for a long time, and try to get there into some kind of like agreement. Also, we want people to keep talking about us, to promote us, to keep sharing everything that we do, to develop some kind of like collaborations that work in both sides. But like right now, our next step, we are ready to get that funding to keep going, and to actually have like small team that can push this all the way, because I think that we can do even much more than we are doing so far. Like we've been doing like a lot, but I believe that we can do even much more. We can create events, we can do links with other organizations to like create this debate, but in a big scale. We just need the means and the resources to do that. And so we are now working towards that.
Fantastic. And I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So long may that continue, and long may our relationship, our partnership between each other and all the other members of the Independent Media Association, because collaboration is one of our major goals. And so the more we can work together and the more we can help each other, the better. Is there anything else that you'd like? Sorry, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we finish?
I don't know if maybe Monica will like to say something.
Well, I would like to say, could you hear me? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, I think being an independent newspaper is very hard. It's not an easy task. So we all need to stay together, all the independent media. And also it's because as an independent media, we all, because sometimes I said we need to be together to have solidarity. Sometimes even in independent media journalists, we are not completely fully solidarity. We need to stick together because during these moments, we need to provide very right information, the right information, people, the truth. We need to provide the truth. We don't have the truth, but we know where is the truth. So we need to stick together. We need a lot of solidarity. I think it's something. I'm sorry for the audio. I'm really happy because that Juan and Virginia they are the proof that we are the same voice, and independent media in general, we are the same voice. Hopefully, did they have problems with the audio? No?
We can hear you.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Monica.
Yeah.
But yeah, solidarity, unity. I think we really need to support each other, and I think at the end of the day, that is the most important thing, to be able to, to put the truth out there and to give the facts. And to be united to fight all these difficult work.
Yeah, that's an amazing place to finish as well. Thank you so much, Madonna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and we'll get together again soon. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. To you. Thank you.